Should you use a suppressor for home defense? Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know about my home defense gun. I've done multiple videos about this little 300 blackout, purpose built for home defense. So you already know my position. Yes, I do believe in suppressors for home defense. But it is kind of a controversial thing. Famously, John Lovell of Warrior Poet Society believes not in suppressors for home defense. And, to his credit, John Lovell has much more experience than I do when it comes to kicking indoors, special operations kind of stuff. He has stacked bodies. I have not. I'm just a regular guy that lives in a home that would defend it if necessary to keep my family safe. And that is where I'm coming from in this video. So first off, let me know, how do you guys like the Sawtooth tactical hat that came from a friend of mine at AAC who also did the porting and the Cerakote on the Prodigy? That video will be coming soon. But let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see merch like this on the channel, because I'm pretty excited about it. Now, I want to go back really quick to John Lovell's theory as to why he thinks that you should not use a suppressor for home defense. His thing is that he wants the entire neighborhood to hear what happens. Gunshots going off so that, a neighbor, a good Samaritan, will call the police and that they will get there as quickly as possible. I understand that point. One thing though, John Lovell, I think, has more money than I do, lives on a bigger piece of land with neighbors not nearly as close. A lot of us don't have land like that, and some of us do, whatever. I mean, good for you if you do. Suppressors don't make your gun silent. Even with subsonic ammo, and in this video I am going to recommend subsonic 300 blackout ammo, or subsonic 9mm, 45, whatever. We're going to talk about all that here in a minute. But even subs, without hearing protection, most people could probably tell that those are gunshots. Also, after the home defense situation is handled, and hopefully the intruders, the threats, are no longer a threat, then I will be personally calling the police to come deal with the situation afterward. If I'm still alive, hopefully. That's kind of the whole point of, like I've said before, when it comes to home defense, having every possible advantage, which I think that you get with a short 300 blackout AR suppressed. Now, why subsonic ammo? Supersonic ammo is much more effective. It has better terminal ballistics. A subsonic 300 blackout is just like a glorified 45 ACP, right? Well, sure, it's better than that. But yeah, about the same weight, about the same velocity as a 45 ACP. But the difference is, 7 or 8 rounds of 45 out of a 1911 with no optic, or as many rounds as I want, quick reloads, and being able to easily put a lot of rounds on target very quickly with an AR platform, specifically a short, light, easy to maneuver around AR platform. There is a difference there. Yes, shot placement is good, but volume of shots, multiple rounds is better than less rounds. And so that's kind of the whole point here. But I also have a supersonic reload. So I have subs in a mag, and I've got supers in a mag. If it really came down to it, to where the whole mag of subs didn't do the job, then we moved to supers. But the point of the subs is that they suppress really well. With the supers, yeah, you can shoot a few rounds without ear pro. No big deal. Outdoors. Inside, still pretty dang loud. Whereas the subs are technically hearing safe. They're still not super quiet. They're relatively quiet as far as shooting a gun goes. Subsonic 300 blackout with a suppressor is quiet compared to shooting other guns. It's still not super duper quiet. I mean, you still have the sound of the action there. I mean, that right next to my head made my ear ring for a second. And you still have the sound of the shot. So don't get it twisted. It's not quite as quiet as you may think, especially indoors. This video is sponsored by Aura. And we're talking about home defense, about, taking care of physical threats to you and your family and your home. Well, Aura takes care of the threats that are not physical, not threats that you can reach out and touch, but the online threats that are probably attacking you right now. All of us have information, have data that has been leaked, that is out there, that is being sold by data brokers to scammers and spammers. I don't anymore. You know why? Because I use Aura. And you can use Aura too for just $12 a month, but you can try it out absolutely free for 14 days by using my link, the first link in the description, aura.com/sawtoothtactical. Try it for 2 weeks and see if you want to keep it or not. If you do, they take care of all of your online security for that $12. Not just the data broker thing, although that to me has been the biggest advantage to it. I don't get spam calls anymore. I don't get spam emails anymore. I haven't had anybody try to call and scam me since I started using Aura. To me, that is well worth the $12 a month. But they also, manage your passwords for you, protect your home title. They literally they give you a VPN, virtual private network, so you can browse the internet safely and anonymously. They do everything that you could possibly need for online security, protect your privacy, get rid of scammers and spammers, all for $12 a month. But again, just to see if you like it or not, try it out absolutely free for 2 weeks, 14 days at aura.com/sawtoothtactical. So why do I think you should use a suppressor and subsonic ammo specifically for home defense? Well, the first thing is this. I'm not the only one in my home. I have a family. I have a daughter. I don't want her to have damaged hearing. And yes, people will bring up auditory exclusion in the heat of the moment, adrenaline pumping. Gunshots aren't going to sound as loud to you. Possibly. That may be true. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get the physical hearing damage. If you take something like a short 5.56, pretend there's not a suppressor on this, and shoot that inside your house, it is going to give you hearing damage, and it is going to give your family members hearing damage. So you are literally injuring your family members and yourself by shooting an unsuppressed firearm indoors. You can negate that with a suppressor. Now again, short 300 blackout, it's effective out of a short barrel. Add a suppressor, still doesn't feel that long. This is a very easy gun to just maneuver around with and use. And that's kind of the whole point. But besides just injuring your family's hearing, what about communicating with them? That is also going to be very important in a situation like this. You just handled some threats downstairs and you need to, let your family know what to do. Well, they got to be able to hear you and you got to be able to hear them. You got to be able to tell them, stay up there, whatever it is. Come on down, everything's safe. You guys have to be able to communicate. And when the cops do inevitably show up, you have to be able to communicate with them. You don't want the cops to be yelling, drop the gun, drop the gun. You think everything is cool, but they think that you're the threat and they drop you because you couldn't hear their commands and communicate effectively because your ears are ringing from setting off a bunch of freaking loud rounds inside your home. Now, your home defense gun doesn't have to be a 300 blackout. This is just my choice. But I do believe it should be suppressed. Now, something like this would be fantastic. MP5 has pretty much most of the same advantages that this does. It's just that it runs 9mm. So yeah, not quite as effective of a round, but still very easy to put multiple rounds on target very quickly. And with 147 grain subs, suppresses very well and can be very quiet. Put a light on this, it would be a great home defense gun. This, the AR-9, would be a great home defense gun, as long as yours is reliable. Mine is. Even a pistol is a bad example because it's a 22, although shot placement, whatever, but I do not recommend 22 for home defense. But that is ridiculously quiet. That is actually quiet. Like, really, really quiet. But, this thing has a threaded barrel. It's a 9mm pistol. I put this suppressor on this all the time with a booster, and it runs reliably. And less damage to the hearing, you're able to communicate better. I think that there's a lot of reasons to use a suppressor for home defense. And the one reason, and I'm not trying to talk shit about John Lovell by any means. Like I said, he has a lot more experience than me when it comes to gun stuff, for sure. Using it in real life situations. I just think, I mean, you can call the cops yourself after you handle the situation. Cops, they come after something has happened. They're not going to be there to deal with the home invasion, the bad guys, whatever it may be. You're going to have to deal with that with yourself. Hopefully you never have to. Hopefully I never have to. But I want that situation not to injure myself or my family by damaging our hearing. And I don't want it to be to where we can't communicate after that situation is done. And I also want to be able to, like, if there's multiple people, whatever it is, to be able to keep handling the situation, because I'm not just shocked with the concussion and the noise of a firearm going off inside. And with the suppressor, I mean, that takes care of that very well. Not just the sound, but the concussion, the flash signature, all of those things, all the reasons why suppressors are good for any other situation, they're also good for home defense. I would say tailored to it, in my opinion. I think a suppressor should be a necessary part of your home defense firearm. But let me know in the comments if you agree or not. Do you use a suppressor for home defense, or do you not? Do you think it's a smart thing to use, or do you not? A lot of things people bring up is, well, you know, your gun's going to get confiscated if you have to use it to defend yourself. Yeah, but you know what? If I'm alive and my family's alive, I'm fine with losing a gun over that. I can always build another gun. Another one is, you know, NFA items for, you know, used in a defensive situation. Well, what the hell are we getting NFA items for, if not for what they're for, right? I mean, just for fun at the range, just to look cool? No, it's because they're the most effective thing. A short-barreled rifle, suppressed, is the most effective tool for that kind of job. Home defense. CQB is home defense. Home defense is CQB. But what about when you have to go to court afterward? They're going to paint you as, you know, as a sniper, as a whatever, because you have a suppressor and a short-barreled rifle and all these attachments, fancy gadgets on your gun. It's going to make you look terrible in court. Not really. I think if you have a good lawyer that can explain why you have all these things. I mean, if you have stupid stuff on here like, you know, smile and wait for the flash, or you're dead, or some BS that people put on their rifles, Punisher skulls, yeah, that does not look good in court, I am sure. If you have an effective weapon that your lawyer can justify why you have the different things on it, because it makes it more effective for keeping your family safe, a decent optic, a light, a suppressor, and a short gun that's easy to move around, I don't think that that is that hard to argue in court, that you're looking for a fight or anything. You just want the best tool possible to protect your family. There is nothing wrong with protecting your family with the best tool possible. But again, let me know down in the comments. Let me know two things. Suppressors for home defense or not? What is your home defense gun? 3 things. And do you want to see Sawtooth Tactical merch? Let me know down in the comments. I'm real excited about this hat and this Prodigy video coming soon. We're also almost at 1,000 rounds for the 2311 Match X. So that 1,000 round video will be coming soon as well. Want to thank AAC, Close in Arms, for doing these custom jobs for me. Really freaking sweet. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Make sure you're subscribed. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.